session.
You know we can't read all that stuff.
But if you do, you'll
All right.
see the total misinformation that you've received. I've not come before y'all in the last few years having to do with the horse show, but I've had enough. I love animals. I love my horses. I have in excess of 30. I sleep with 3 dogs, and I also sleep with my husband. But he's not a dog. But, you know, I will tell you, I'm so tired of hearing about animal cruelty, about things that I participate in, which is, in my opinion, hogwash. If you will look, you hear it from a guy from Mississippi who proclaims to be a lawyer and doesn't even have a license to practice law. He's inactive. On the other hand here, I'm practicing here, and I have for 30-some odd years. I'm an assistant state attorney, and I enforce the law. I'm sworn to enforce the law. I would hate to think that this ordinance came before a case where you have an animal cruelty situation under this proposed order. I promise you, it wouldn't pass constitutional muster. And one of the reasons why, and most importantly one of the reasons why, is because these pads and chains do not, I repeat, do not, in any shape, fashion, or form, cause pain or suffering to these animals. You will have the animal study of Auburn University in your package. I think it's Exhibit E. And it will say unequivocally, chains of 2, 4, and 6 ounces not only don't cause pain, not even reasonably can cause pain to an animal. This is regulated by the USDA. It is regulated by regulations promulgated that allow the pads and the chains. There are regulations in your package regulating pads and chains. And guess what? You're allowed to have 6-ounce chains. You're allowed to have pads. So these things are already regulated. If you do ban the pads and chains, you in effect say, buy a horse show. Because these are what these people want to do. It's been legal since 1900. It's been legal forever, but it came on the board in 1900. They have started having horse shows. And these pads and chains, they don't harm horses. I have many horses with pads and chains that wear them. I love those horses. And they don't cause any pain to these horses. And I'm convinced of it. Auburn University is convinced of it. The USDA is convinced of it. And guess what? Congress is convinced of it. Congress regulates this on the Horse Protection Act. This is already regulated. So he suggests that you have an ordinance, one, with recitals that say, lies to begin with, whereas the city of Panama City Beach recognizes that the United States Equestrian Federation, which is the national governing board for equestrian sports, not true. It is the governing board for most breeds, not the Tennessee walking horse breed. He also suggests that you say that you ban the pads and chains because it's animal cruelty. It's not. You already have an animal cruelty and a good one, by the way. More stringent, quite frankly, than I think even our county ordinance. You have one. If you impose an ordinance like this, what you're doing is basically changing your ordinance one, and you're basically saying, we're going to define that pads and chains are cruel to animals, even though the USDA says it's not, even though Congress says it's not. So,
Is that your time's up, sir?
okay. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Sir, you have another speaker, Jacob